If we live together, where you think you gonna bring that kid and you know that I don't want nothing to do with it? When I say I wanted to do the dash that day, because why are you saying stuff like that?
You once thought you found your soulmate, but that same love left you pregnant and alone and questioned everything about relationships and forgiveness. How did it get to that point?
Ooh, so when you say how did it get to that point, clarify for me so I know where I'm going.
So basically, you thought you found the love of your life, basically, right? Now everything just changed. You feel like this person was your soulmate. Now, how did it get to that point to where you feel like you found your soulmate? Now you here telling your story.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, for one thing, like, I can say that I've realized that the mistake that I made was going off of perception. I didn't really know this man. I didn't know his past. I didn't know his patterns. I didn't know anything about him except for what was initially placed in front of me.
Yeah.
And see, we were dating long distance. So, of course, you don't really know a person from distance.
True. No, very true. And I know it's like a 10-year age gap between y'all. So what made you attracted to him?
Um, I honestly, before him, I had dated like more in my age range and like a tad bit younger, not by too much, but just like a tad bit. And I guess I just felt like, you know that saying when they say that men mature slower than women?
Yeah.
I kind of got tired of dating in my age range and a little bit younger just because it was like, what the hell is wrong with y'all?
Yeah.
And so I guess I wanted a change from that. I wanted to see what it was like, dating someone that was older, because my misconception that a lot of women actually do have is that you would think that older men would be more mature.
Right.
And here I am finding out that's not the case either.
And I be hearing women say that, and I tell women like it ain't about the age, it's a mentality.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know it's a 10-year age gap. What's you don't mind sharing? You feel comfortable sharing? What's the age between you and him?
He is, if I'm not mistaken, he'll turn 40 this year. And I am currently 29 and I will be 30 in March of next year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how old were you? How old were you when you first met him?
So when we first crossed paths, like just initially meeting, not even dating, but just like initially meeting, I was 19.
Okay.
So that was like back in like 2016, because that was when I had my son.
Okay.
And then we didn't start, like, we didn't even get the opportunity to date, because of course, being 19, I was living further than what I was when we started dating.
Yeah.
But we didn't start dating until I was like maybe 25, 26. So yeah.
Oh, okay. And how did you and him have met?
So he owns a magazine. I don't even know if he's still doing that magazine anymore, but he owns a magazine. And around that time, I was modeling, and I got published in his magazine. And from there, like, we was cool. We would have like casual conversation or whatever the case was. And so we ended up getting into it, and I put them in on the block list for like 5 years.
Damn.
And then, like, eventually I ended up unblocking him. This was like some years later, around the time that we actually started dating. And I was contacting for business, but of course, it went a whole different direction.
Yeah. So how did it went from business to a romantic relationship?
Because even then, like, he was pursuing me, and he's the type of person where it's not obvious. Like, how do I put this? He's one of those people where he's going to structure what he says a certain type of way.
Yeah.
Because he don't want to get caught in what he said. Because it's easy to be like, this is what you said if you say it directly. But if I don't come right out and say exactly what I mean, that leaves room for interpretation. So then if you do say, oh, this is what you meant. No, that's not what I meant. I meant this, that, and the third, because you weren't direct about it. So, like, he was always pursuing me. Of course, like, the phone calls that have nothing to do with business, the sending heart eyes, roses, this, that, and the third. When we finally, like, crossed paths like after that 5 years of him being blocked from us getting into it initially. I was in the mindset of contacting him because I needed his help business wise, and it was kind of just like, from what he said, you couldn't have thought that we was not gonna pick up where we left off. So
Got it.
yeah.
Got it. Oh, I see. He had to use his little tricks to get to you. You ain't wrong.
The way that she,
You ain't
the way that
wrong.
she said it, but yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
no, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. So, like, you once said, you know, he feel like he was your soulmate, and you feel like you feel at home with him. Like, what do you mean? What did you meant by that? You feel at home with him?
So I feel like for me, something that a lot of women would never realize until they actually catch their own self patterns
Yeah.
is that comfortability and that safety that you think that you feel is actually just familiar spirits. They show up in different people. You're gonna meet the same person in a different body until you break the cycle, until you heal.
Right.
And so for me, when I would come out here to visit with him, it felt very comfortable. It felt familiar. And so I latched onto that. It felt like this was somebody that, you know, as they say, like, I knew you in a past life type of energy.
Right.
So that was the comfortability, that was the safety. And so it made me feel like, okay, this is, I can see this going somewhere, you know?
So basically, like, you feel like you guys connected right away.
Yeah.
It be like that. Some people you meet, and some people you meet, you be like, damn, okay, me and this person don't really connect like that well.
Yeah.
But then when you meet somebody else, y'all click right away.
Yeah, and it's like I remember it. So like I'm gonna say this before we like really even get completely too deep into it. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't still love this person. I do. But there is a thing of I'm gonna love you, but I'm gonna love you from a distance. So even when I think back to like the moments when we did spend time together, those are the moments that I can kind of take something good from out of all of the trauma and the pain. Because I mean, this man could be playing video game. That's one of his favorite things to do. He could be playing a video game and I'm sitting on the couch behind him, you know, on my laptop, or I'm reading a book. And even though it's drop dead silent outside of him yelling at the game, which I used to find funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Niggas in that game be funny, but it could be like drop dead silence and outside of that, and it feels comfortable.
Right. I get it.
So it was kind of that type of flow, and that type of energy can make you feel like, you know, I could see this being the long term.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, you know, so crazy. It like little things like that means the most.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I had somebody tell me the same thing, how this little chick I was dealing with at the time, like, she'd be same thing. I'd play the game, she'd be right behind me chilling.
Right.
And that's really our little did we knew that was our me time, or us time,
Right.
without us making it known, because we just chilling together. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely can understand that. And I hear a lot of women say that. It's crazy. But I know you mentioned how you said you wanted marriage and you feel like you wasn't ready for marriage. Like, what you mean by that?
So, okay. So, of course, you know I've been on like a spiritual journey. You know, we've talked before. I've been on a spiritual journey, a healing journey.
Right.
And so, one of the things that happened last year, this was like while we weren't dating during this period of time. We were actually in separation. And I had an experience where I started to unpack why I ever wanted marriage. And the root of that was, you know, watching my parents and how their marriage started, like, they was butting heads for real. They two fire signs. They was going head at it. And it's like watching their marriage go from where it was to where it is now. I feel like the wound that I had of not feeling accepted, not feeling wanted, because when you love somebody and when you are talking about marriage, that person has to love you for everything that you are. They can't just love you for your leaves. They have to love you for your roots. So do you love me in my darkness? Do you love me when you push me to that point where I got to knock your wig back?
Right.
Do you still love me? And watching my dad still love my mom in that way, I wanted that. But I also understood that was the very thing that was causing me to end up with people like him. Because reactional abuse comes in at that point. This is not someone who's going to love me in my darkness. They're going to use that darkness against me.
How long your parents been married?
You know, I ain't been keeping track. I just know it's a long time.
Yeah. Nah, I
They
feel
got
you.
married when I was 3, so, and I'm 29 now, so that's a long time.
It's a long time. And you know, that's my biggest fear of being married. Like, I want to be married. Sometimes I don't because I feel like, am I able to find a woman who's going to be with me through my goods and
Right.
through the bad? You know, we live in a time where a lot of people don't know how to stick it through adversities. A lot of
Yeah.
people easily walk away. Like, I see people who be married for 15, 16 years and they want to walk away. I'm like, how can you just walk? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That's so mind blocking.
But you know, it's funny though. Like I was having a talk with like one of my friend guys, and we actually had a discussion about the fact that
Yeah.
it seems like back then they used to find every reason to try to stick it out.
Yeah.
But like now, because we are a generation where we understand that we have the freedom and we really don't have to put up with certain stuff, we find every reason to leave. And I
Right.
get it on
Right.
both ends.
No, definitely. And I want to ask you this. So, like, how did his views on not wanting kids impacted the way you approach intimacy and expectations in a relationship?
Ooh. I don't think that I took it as seriously as I did until I actually got to be around him and see him be a parent. And I'm not going to get too far deep off into that because I don't want it to seem disrespectful. But just
Right.
based off of what I saw, I completely understood. I understood. But when it came to intimacy, I don't think that I started enforcing it until I had reached that point too. Like that was something I went through last year too where, you know, I had gotten to have certain life experiences that I didn't have before. I was, you know, had more freedom and room to move and kind of go chase my dreams. And of
Right.
course, still being in my 20s and being a mom, I hadn't had that. So like it put me in a position on top of, you know, moving here and understanding what my struggle really was trying to get on my feet. Cause I came here with nothing. Like I came here just on faith.
Yeah.
And so understanding all of that, I actually reached a point to where it was like, I don't think I want marriage and I don't think I want kids either. Like, and it wasn't a thing of like, I really don't want these things. It was more so a thing of, I don't need no more kids right now.
Yeah.
'Cause I got my one and I'm comfortable. And I understand how sacrificial it is. So I don't really want to put myself in that position right now.
So when you was with him, right? You already had one kid already, right?
So I actually have 2. My son lives with his dad, and I have my oldest daughter. She lives with me.
Okay, so you got your own 2 kids and he got his own kids. So you mentioned how you didn't want to, you know, have any more children, correct? So that moment you found out you got pregnant, what was your first thought?
I was mad
Why you was mad? Because if you
because
know,
it's like so it's like this. When I made the decision, I actually started trying to put action behind it. Meaning, like, we were intimate. I got the text messages where I asked for a plan B, and I said why, why I wanted it. I have the text message where I'm like, you know, hey, we need to start taking precaution, you know, moving forward because I don't want this. And I also made it clear we not ready for this. And so I was upset because I'm like, number one, I'm mad at God because you just heard me say I don't want this.
right?
And you heard me say, like, where I am right now. I done wrote this down in my journal and everything. And here we are. I'm mad at you, him, because I see what I at least tried to do. You ain't even meet me halfway.
So why you ain't go get the plan B yourself?
No, so the plan B, I ended up getting that. It was afterwards when I, like, really was telling him, like, we need to actually start taking precaution for real. And it was, at that point, I didn't know that I was already pregnant.
Oh.
And so at that point,
So
it
the
was
plan
like,
B didn't work?
no, the plan B worked. But I'm saying, like, moving beyond that, like, after that one time,
Okay.
it was like,
Y'all
okay,
still
we
hunching
need
on each
to,
other.
yeah, we need to actually, like, really take precaution. But by that point, when I was saying it, I didn't know that I was already pregnant.
But it just, when someone hear this, it's like, okay, well, why ain't just use a condom? Why you ain't force them to use a condom?
And you know something? That's something
Yeah,
that
you know,
I take,
it take 2 to tango.
yeah, that's something that I take accountability for. Because, like, even me and my friend guy, we was talking about the fact that, like, even though he was there wrong for not, you know, meeting me halfway with making sure that it didn't happen.
Right.
I was like, I should have enforced it a lot more than I did. And now I'll never be in that position again because I ain't trusting you because I ain't trusting no man because clearly y'all ain't gonna listen.
Right.
I'm gonna make sure I bring the protection. I'm gonna make sure I watch you and watch you put it on.
No, for real. So how did he react when you told him you was pregnant?
He ain't want no kid. He wanted me to get an abortion, and initially that was my first thought. And it's crazy because so much about me has changed, like through my experiences. Like I wasn't even the type of person who would have thought about something like that. I've always
Right.
been what did I call it? Pro-life.
Yeah.
Not understanding what pro-choice really was until I was put in a position where I really did not want to be pregnant, and I was. So like he wanted me to get an abortion. I thought about abortion, but when I really sat back and thought about it and not being in that mindset of letting my emotions lead me, I really had to come to this. I'm not gonna be able to handle that. Emotionally, mentally,
yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, no, that's tough because there's women out here who begin like multiple abortions. I'm like, how can you do that? Just lay on the table and just, that's,
And
yeah,
the thing is,
that's
like,
crazy.
I don't judge them for. I think that there are some women who have the mental capacity to do it. I knew
Yeah.
that I didn't, which is why
That's
I
good.
don't like the whole culture of if he don't want the baby, don't keep it, because y'all are putting that out there because logically it makes sense to just go and do that because you thinking, oh, well, I ain't got to be attached to the nigga. But
Right.
when you think about it on the back end and the long-term effects, that's why you have women now who every day they regret that decision.
Yeah, I agree. I know a little chick. She mentioned how she got an abortion. She didn't want to go through that again, shit like that. Y'all know, definitely. And how did he react when you told him like, I'm not getting an abortion. I'm gonna keep this baby.
Because I was still in that headspace where I had not, like, I didn't even feel connected to my baby. Like, during my first trimester, like, and that was something that bothered me. Like, that actually sent me into depression because I didn't feel that with my son and my daughter.
What you mean by the connection? Like,
So, of course, like, every mother who's carrying a baby in their womb, most of us, for the most part, like, there is some type of excitement there. There's
Okay.
some type of love there. I didn't feel that.
okay,
That's how disconnected from it I was. So, when I reached that point where I was like, okay, well, I'm still not connected to my pregnancy, but I know that I'm not gonna be okay if I get an abortion. Like, eventually I'm
Yeah.
gonna regret it. I was still in that space of trying to consider him enough, which men always talk about how women don't consider them, especially in situations like that. I'm still trying to consider you, even though in the end it's my choice. I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, okay, well, the next option would be adoption, which I actually was very comfortable with that because, like I said, my son lives with his dad. It's a whole different story for another day. But
Yeah.
he lives with his dad, and that's something that I had to grow to accept, that even though that situation happened how it did and there were some injustices to it, it was better for him for that point of time in my life because I wasn't ready for him.
okay,
And so I knew that with adoption, of course it's going to hurt, but I knew that that would have been a hurt that I would have been able to live with because I still was in the mindset of being in my child's life. I wanted to do an open adoption. He wasn't trying to hear none of that. He thought he knew me better than I knew myself. You're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to carry that. Sir, you don't know what I've been through. You
Right.
think that you know me and you don't. So you don't know when I'm sitting here telling you what I can and cannot handle, you're upset because that's not what you want.
So he basically wants you to get an abortion. He don't hear none of that.
He wasn't trying to hear none of that. I remember, like, one day we were into it and he pretty much was just like, what did he say? He was like, if we live together, where you think you're gonna bring that kid and you know that I don't want nothing to do with it? When I say I wanted to do the dash that day, because why are you saying stuff like that?
Wow, he said that to you.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
It,
Damn.
it pissed me off because I'm like, here I am. I'm not trying to force you to be a dad because I don't believe in, if a man does tell you that he does not want a kid, I don't believe in trying to force him to be a father because there's a difference between someone being a parent out of obligation and them wanting to be a parent. I've already seen what you look like as an obligated
Right.
parent. I don't want that for my kid. But you can't even just support me and show up for me while I'm trying to make a decision where I'm not putting us or you in that situation, and I'm not doing that to our child, but I'm also doing something that's better suited for me.
All right.
And then you talking out the side of your neck and you thinking that you being mean to me is going to make me do what you want to, and you still didn't get what you wanted.
Yeah, so it sounds like he's trying to manipulate the situation, trying to do everything in his power to not allow you to have that baby. And most men, this is my opinion, you know, but men have to understand that this is the woman's body, right? So she have the right to choose on what she want to do. You know what I'm saying? Us men, sometimes we allow our emotions and our fear to take control
Right.
of what we say. And I'm not agreeing with it, you know what I'm saying? But that's like immaturity on any man that decide to go about it that way. You know, that's crazy.
The thing
That's
that pisses
crazy.
me off even more though is understanding like he has three children at this time,
Okay.
all girls. And so understanding like from what I understand, this has always been your stance. You've never wanted kids. Somehow you ended up with 3. It's very different for me. My daughter, I wanted. My son, he kind of just happened. But when I knew that I didn't want kids, I took precaution, at least tried to
Yeah.
take a precaution for that not to happen. How is it that you are a grown man at your big grown age and somehow you keep finding yourself in this position and what you would rather do is blame the women and say, well, I told her that I didn't want a kid. And you want to basically utilize a woman's ability to choose against her, but
Right.
why do niggas not understand y'all the ones who are giving her the power to choose?
Right, I agree to that.
Way before she ever gets pregnant, you are in control.
Yeah, I do. I agree to that. I agree 100% to that. And that's why, even though I said earlier, take 2 to tangle, but at the same time, us men, like when we having sex unprotected, we know when we finna, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So he could at least use protection. So I feel like shit, if you don't want any kids, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta take the proper procedure. But nothing in life is 100% safe. So if you do have sex,
That's
you're
true.
making a baby.
Yeah.
Regardless if you do use a condom.
And
Like,
it's like,
you know what I'm saying?
I hear so many excuses. I hear well, when men are doing it, they don't think about this, that, and the third, okay? And they don't have nothing to do with me. As a grown person, if you know you don't want something for your life, that's whether it's kids,
Right.
whether
Right.
an alcoholic who don't want to be an alcoholic, no more gonna go to rehab.
Facts.
They're not gonna keep putting themselves in that situation, and they're gonna make sure their friends understand. Look, I don't drink no more.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, it becomes a choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's literally a
It becomes
choice. And if you're not gonna make the decision to do something different,
Right.
I'm not trying to hear that crybaby shit.
Agree to that. So what happened? So y'all going back and forth about the adoption, and you said you was about to, give your child to adoption.
Mm-hmm.
What was the turning point? What had changed for you not to push your son into adoption?
Growing, it's a daughter. It's a girl.
Oh shit, my bad, your daughter. I'm fucking up. My bad.
No, it's cool. So honestly, like, it was a cycle with him. So by this time of us dating, this is the 3rd time that we've tried to make things work. And at some point, that saying to keep doing the same thing and expecting different results and
Right.
insanity comes up. So it's like, I'm looking at how you acting. You can say that you changing all day, whatever. I'm looking at your actions, and your actions are resembling the same patterns that you had in the past. I immediately knew at a certain point when certain stuff started getting said to me, and I knew it was out of the side of his neck, and I knew it was to hurt me. We're not gonna make it through this. So I went ahead and started the grieving process. And basically, it got to the point one day where I had gone home for Christmas to visit with my family. My mom already knew, about my pregnancy. She knew how I felt. I had talked to her about it.
All right.
And so I'm at home. He was calling me. And we're having little moments where it seems like it's about to head to an argument. And I'm like, I'm telling myself, I'm not about to argue with you in my parents' house. I'm not going to do it. So one morning, I literally woke up and I was like, do you want to break up? He said yes. I called him. Are you sure this is absolutely what you want to do?
Yeah.
Because I knew that if in my mind, I already had made, if you leave me in this by myself, especially being that in the beginning of it, he told me, like, I would feel bad for leaving you in this by yourself when I know that it's not your fault. Those was his words to me. And so my mindset was already, if you do this, if you go back on what it is that you told me, there is no coming back from that. And I knew that he, based off of pattern recognition, he was still going to think that he had a chance, even after making the choice that he made. So I asked, are you 100% sure? He said, yeah. Okay. And I hung up the phone. I didn't make a fuss. I didn't make a fight. Go on about your business.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he still tried to contact me for stuff that did not have nothing to do with me or this baby. Just temperature checking. He called me one night. I just want to talk to you. I'm on the way home from work, and I just want to talk to you. And I'm
Yeah.
sitting on the opposite side of the phone, really trying to understand, like,
This nigga ain't taking me serious.
you really not taking me serious
Yeah,
for real. So
yeah,
he get the what's this energy that you got? Like, why you acting like you don't want to talk to me? Because I'm trying to figure out what you need. So then he get to asking me, and this is something that I know that he does too. Like,
Right.
I will set a boundary, and because he's not used to me doing that, he tries to use the boundary against me. So he says, so if you see me out in public, you're not gonna speak to me? Now, if you just broke up with me a couple of days ago and I'm pregnant, what make you think that that's gonna be on my mind?
Yeah.
So I gave him an honest answer though. It wasn't me being a bitch. It was me being honest and being an adult. I know that I have human emotions that I need to deal with. And I didn't hate him. I was not even mad at him because I understand not wanting to be a parent.
Right.
I'm in that position too.
Right.
He says, so I say, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So he get to talk. Well, if that's the energy that we on, then I don't know if I'm gonna speak either. And I'm sitting here like, you childish as hell.
Yeah, like you think about yourself. Mind you, you pregnant, you dealing with all type of emotions. You know what I'm
Like,
saying?
my mind is not even supposed to be on that.
Yeah,
So it
that's
was
crazy.
several calls that happened like that afterwards. And so, I mean, like, at some point, like I said, the day that I, asked him, and I initiated the breakup because
Mm-hmm.
I did not think that he had the courage to do it by himself.
I see. That's crazy. And
Yeah.
you said something to me that kind of hit me. Out of all the things you shared with me, you said something. You basically said you felt better alone than being in a toxic environment with him.
Yeah.
What do you mean about that?
So remember I told you, like, the last time that we dated when I ended up pregnant, that was our third time trying. So after the second time that we dated, which also came with a lot of trauma, it came with me finding out about another young lady that he had cheated on me with and conceived a child with.
Oh shit! Wait.
So-
So he had another baby on you while he was with you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't call me stupid though.
Oh shit! No, I ain't judging. Hey, no judge free zone. God damn.
Yeah. So
Shit. Wait, hold on. Wait. How did you find out about that?
So pretty much like when I moved here, like I said, we weren't together when I initially moved. But I did move here trying to think that if we eliminated the distance, because that was something that we used to argue about, that we could fix things.
Wow. Okay.
I was at his house. This was literally the day of our 1-year anniversary, and I found a tampon in the bathroom.
Oh.
And so I'm like, tampon is that? You know how niggas, that ain't yours. You want take your period?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
So when he walked back in the room, he sat down in his little computer chair, and he was like, so I got something to tell you. And I was like, what you do? So I got a baby. She was born, I think
Shit.
that baby was born on the 17th of October of 2023. And I was like, I was mad. I was
Yeah.
pissed, but the type of woman that I am, I had so much compassion and empathy for him. And I didn't feel like he did it on purpose, but I don't know. It was just an array of different emotions. And so that created a whole thing and back and forth and all of that. And it got to the point where I could see myself getting to that point. The more we argued after that, I saw myself getting to that point of no return, which I actually did hit the third time that we did it. I crashed out on him one night. I absolutely did.
I believe it.
But
Damn.
so during that time last summer where we were not together, after me finding out about all of that and whatever, while he was going through his epiphany of, from what he said, realizing that he was better with me than without me, the opposite was happening for me. I was realizing that I was better without him than with him. And so...
And why you feel that way? Like, feel like good things was happening for you or stuff like that?
I became a whole different part of myself. The woman that you see sitting right here today, I was not that woman. Even before him, I wasn't as confident as I am now. I wasn't as... I'm not gonna say as ambitious. I'm gonna say headstrong.
Yeah.
I wasn't such a risk taker. I cared about what people thought about me, all types of stuff.
Okay.
And the one thing that I can say I am grateful for because of that relationship is being with him. He's a Scorpio. Scorpios are very transformative signs. You're gonna go through an ego death. You're gonna die to them parts of you that you keep, bowing to when it comes to your toxic cycles. And so the version of me that I am today, it came from me having to be hurt with him. It came from me having to see the darkest parts of myself within him in order for me to heal it.
Yeah.
And so I just eventually realized, like, how do I put this? There's something that he used to say to me all the time that I wasn't who I said I was. But here's the thing. I never tell anyone who I am.
Yeah.
When I meet you, I'm not telling you about me. I'm gonna let you tell me what you're picking up about me. And I feel like because when people initially meet me, they get that she's safe, she's calm, she's very peaceful, she's loving light. So when they do me something, like he did me something, and they get that I was chilling now from the lean up,
Yeah.
then it becomes a thing of them wanting to use that side of me against me. And so I hid from that a lot. I hid those parts of me that you talking to me crazy, I'm finna talk to you crazy back. I hid that side of me. And so I feel like he went on a mission to try to prove to me that you're not as good as you say you are. You're not a loving person as much as you say that you. But that is who I am.
It sounds like he put his that's a word. I'm trying to make sure I'm saying this right. I feel like you're a reflection of his insecurities.
We were both there for each other. And I tried to tell him that. It was at one point I realized that we were doing the same exact things to each other, but with different motives behind them.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you an example. When this was something that he told me the third time that we tried to work things out, he told me, he was like, when I used to tell you that I didn't care back then, I was really just saying it to be an ass. I was just saying it to hurt you. So when I started saying it, I wasn't saying it to get back at him. I really had reached a point where you could stop talking to me today and I really would not care. I don't care. He thought that I was saying it to get back at him, but the reality was that's truly how I felt. So we could be doing the exact same thing to one another, but it's coming from a different place. And when I started to actually realize that I was going to do a mediation for us, like have us talk to someone, that didn't happen. Literally because I began to understand. He used to have this thing where he would be like, we need somebody on the phone to hear us, because we would argue a lot.
Like a mediator. Y'all need somebody. Yeah.
We need somebody on the phone to hear us. But here's the difference. We both wanted someone to be present. I wanted someone to be present so that they could hear the both of us and point everything out to the both of us. And of course, I knew certain things was going to come up that I had not talked to them about and things like that. I had nothing to hide. But he, in his mindset, it wasn't about wanting to really get to the root of the issues. It was more so a thing of he didn't like that I was confiding in people. Like, he tried to tell me, you shouldn't be talking to anybody in your personal life about what's going on between us. You need to sit down and talk to a therapist. Yet, you don't even believe in therapy.
Right.
So
yeah, that's crazy.
That didn't even happen. But what did happen was he got his opportunity to tell his side and to be heard. And what he told was half truths. What he told was lies.
So it sounds like, maybe I'm throwing this word too loosely. Do you believe he was a narcissistic?
Narcissist?
Narcissist, yeah,
yes.
That shit.
And it's funny because
like.
I remember one night, I must have said something about him gaslighting me. This man's literal words to me were, you're the definition of a narcissist and a gaslighter. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool beans. If that's how you feel because you don't like that I'm calling out what it is that you truly are.
Right.
And at this point, I have more than enough to go off of.
Yeah.
Because I did not only seen how you are with me, I've seen how you are when it comes to other women. I've seen how you are when it comes to business. There's much more that I have learned since we have not been together and stuff that I was not looking for, but it came to me.
Damn. And I want to ask, we got a way off topic. I want to ask you this too. You felt, being alone pregnant was better being alone than to be in a toxic environment, right?
Yeah.
So why do you say that?
I feel like I kind of always been like that. I definitely believe in I would rather do it by myself than be toxic. Why would I try to have a 2-parent household and the only thing that my child is going to see is me and this man going back and forth at it?
Right.
And this is a man that at this point I don't even respect. Right. I don't respect him. Now I ain't gonna never.
You think that changed when keep going? No, I'm asking you, do you think that changed While you was pregnant, that you lost respect for him?
Yeah. I it the whole time, once I found out that I was pregnant, everything that happened after that, it was like hit after hit after hit. My respect for him was diminishing. Like, I don't have none. And that don't mean that I hate him. In fact, like, I went through a period where I knew that I didn't hate him, but I also knew that I was angry.
Right.
And I knew I was trying to force myself to not feel negative emotions about him, because people very much, which I hate, when it comes to spiritualists, when it comes to anybody who's on a spiritual journey, they love to try to make it seem like it's just supposed to be love, and like you can't have no days where you're feeling down. You can't have no days where you're feeling negative. And I actually just posted a think piece about this on my spiritually rich intent page, which is basically me talking about my revelations and stuff, where I got to a point where I realized I do not have to wish you well, and I don't have to feel good about you in order for me to forgive you. You ain't done nothing but sown toxicity into my life, pain into my life. I have more bad days with you than good.
Right.
So I'm not finna sit up here and make myself wish you well.
Yeah, no, definitely understand. And I want to ask too, while you was being pregnant and you sitting alone, like, what was going through your mind? Like, how was you was feeling mentally when you was like going through alone?
I'm gonna be honest, I was fine. I was more upset about finding out about the situation where him and like 2 other people, they tried to formulate whatever narrative they tried to formulate or whatever. I was more upset about that than I was being alone while I was pregnant.
And when you had the baby, did anything change? What happened when you had the baby? Was he there?
No.
Damn, so you had the baby by yourself?
Yeah.
God damn. God damn. I didn't know that part. Shit. I mean, because I get it.
And I'm going to be honest. Part of it is he gets blocked on everything, but the reason that he gets blocked on everything is because he put himself there.
So, do you think if he wasn't blocked, you think he would be there? That shit crazy.
Because even before it reached the point where I just decided to block him on everything and just leave it completely at that and not even reopen the door.
Damn.
He wasn't there. He was making it clear he wasn't gonna be there. And I'm the type of person, I'm gonna make you stand on what you said.
I mean, I don't judge. I've been in that situation.
And it's crazy, like people keep asking, like he haven't reached out, he haven't done this, that, and the third. No. And I can even tell you there, so like I reached out to him maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
There is a chain that he wears that I bought. And I don't know why it was bothering me, but I was like, I wanted to know if he still wore it. So I called him. I called him on star 67.
Yeah.
But I called him, and that was all I wanted to ask. I didn't want to have no conversation. I just wanted a yes or a no. He actually got to talking about, I've been seeing you, or whatever the case is, and you've been doing this, that, and the third, and I just want you to know, like, I'm proud of you. And I ain't gonna even lie, I sat on the other side of the phone, like, do you know how crazy you sound?
Yeah.
And this is not, I'm not bashing him, I'm not slandering him, but your mind will automatically go to that. Why do you think first of all, do you know how mad I am, even till this day? He was one of my favorite people. So to be at a point where you gotta watch me and see me through the grapevines, do you honestly think I care? Because I'm mad at you that you're in this position to begin with, because this is not what I wanted. But you also have a kid, and I know you're not crazy. I know you know she here. You wanting to tell me about the fact that you seeing me and you proud of me and you didn't even
try to at least reach out, see how the kid doing.
And so people have asked me, like, he didn't when you was on the phone, he didn't say no.
That shit crazy. Have you met the child yet?
No.
Oh, damn. Wait. How old is the child?
She's 2 months now. And it's crazy, like, I do struggle. Now, I can't say this. I do struggle some days with whether or not to at least unblock him on Instagram and allow him to reach out, because the type of person, a man that I know that he'll possibly be, if it ever came up like, oh, she said you not involved, this, that, and the third, if people ever figure out who it is.
He gonna hold that against you.
He gonna be like, oh, she got me blocked on everything, so I can't even reach out. So it's like I struggle sometimes. Like, do I unblock him and at least leave just that little crack? So if he decides that he wants to be there for whatever reason, I don't ever believe it'll actually be because he wants to be there, because I know him.
That's fucked
up.
But
do I do that, or do I not even open myself up for that and just continue to do what I've been doing?
But see, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Nah, you shouldn't. I mean, do what you feel is best. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. Do what you feel is best. But if he really wanted to, he was gonna try. He gonna do everything in his power to reach out to you.
You know what's funny? This is a person, he's told me, like, I don't know why y'all be blocking people nowhere, because you can't actually block somebody from your life. I mean, you gonna see them in person and this is that and the third. And I remember telling him, I was like, I forgot what I said to him, but I know that his response was like, well, I got 10 emails. So that's the other thing that makes me go back and forth in my head about whether or not to unblock him. Because you said you got 10 emails.
That's
So
what I'm
let
saying.
me
Like,
see
I've been
what you
times,
can
it been
do.
times where if a female would block me, that I would email.
Yeah.
I use the text app. Might pop up.
Right.
You know, I've been in them situations. Call block multiple times. I used my dad's phone one time to get
Yeah.
So, you know, a man gonna figure it out. It's just that he don't want to. You know what I'm saying?
And
that's
that's the
fucked
way
up,
that I
though.
feel. So
That's
it's like I
fucked up.
struggle a lot with that.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's like
understandable.
I'm also not gonna sit here and act like I was perfect. Like I said, I didn't crash out on that man. I didn't put you what'd you say? Skirt.
Yeah. Damn.
And I'm not proud of that, but it's like I also don't fault myself for it because I know everything that happened that led up to that point. I did
Right.
have moments where I was impulsive. I did have moments where you was gonna get 10 long paragraphs
Right.
to me. But it's like when you telling people that, make sure you tell them how I got there.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people like to play the victim. That's the part be blowing me. Like, how the fuck you gonna get mad at me and you the cause of my reaction? Now, it doesn't make it right, no, but like you played a major role on why I went about things.
Yeah.
And I hate that shit.
And it's like that was another video that I recently posted about, like, especially for women,
Right.
being in a space of holding yourself accountable when it comes to your reactions, because you can bet your
Right.
bottom dollar when it comes to a man, if you crash out, if you get to acting crazy, you sending them paragraphs, you doing this, that, and the third, they gonna use it against you when it comes to the end. They gonna swear up and down you want to be the victim, but it's really them.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's that immature. I call it an unhealed man. That man, I don't know him. You know what I'm saying? And by what you sharing with me, two sides of every story, but he sound very unhealed.
Yeah.
For him,
And
it's
I
kind of, it blew me away. For you to call him and he hit you with the, I'm proud of you. I see you doing your thing. Like, what? Like, hey, the first question should have been, how you doing? How's the baby doing? No, fuck, how the baby doing? How you doing? Are you okay? Like, because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we all make mistakes, so who am I to judge? But at least, he should at least came to his senses, like, damn, you know, I got a whole kid. Let me reach out to her. And then what makes it so fucked up, the fact that he telling you, like, you know what, this ain't your fault. I think you mentioned to me that I feel wrong to leave you by yourself.
Yeah.
That's just all
I
manipulation.
would feel bad
that shit
if I
fucked
left
up.
you in this by yourself, knowing that it wasn't
Yeah.
your fault. And the
That
thing,
shit
I'm
crazy.
gonna be completely honest. I know that if people put two and two together and figure out who it is and get to ask him, but I know the story's gonna be completely different. And the reason that I know
Right.
that is because I watched him do that to the other young lady.
Damn. That's crazy.
I know about the situations where she went and she tried to tell certain people about what had happened. And he coming back and telling me about it, not realizing, you know, I'm computing all this in my head because I know you're going to do the same thing.
Damn.
I'm watching it.
So what it sounds like, I'm not judging you at all, but it sounds like it sounded like you was kind of naive at one point.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. I ain't judging you. Hell.
Oh, no, you good. Like, I don't have no
Yeah.
shame in my game. Like,
Yeah, we
I
all
was.
we all be naive for the person who we truly love.
Yeah.
So I'm not even judging you on that one. And I want to ask you this, like, do you feel like women are unfairly judged for keeping a baby when the man say he doesn't want it?
Yes. I have actually, it's crazy because so many different topics that I was actually going through came up like across social media. So I'm sitting on TikTok watching women actually making think pieces saying, if you keep the baby, then you deserve to not have no help. And,
Yeah, I be hearing
and I'm
that.
just like, tell me where the chemical imbalance is. Because do y'all realize that them same niggas that y'all think that y'all defending, they sitting back looking at y'all stupid because they very well understand what they're doing
Right.
when they do it, and they
Right.
know that a consequence of it, regardless if you're thinking about that or not, is that a woman can get pregnant. Y'all realize that y'all buying right into what it is that they trying to sell, and y'all think that y'all... Okay.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, my perspective on it, you know, I don't believe, I mean, you know, a woman, like I said, a woman have control of her body, what she want to do with it,
Yeah.
right? And shit, when you have sex, you know, you making a child. No matter if you're using protection or plan B, you're making a child. So if a child comes with it, yeah, of course you don't, you know, some men might not want it, but you have to accept the responsibility. You have to accept the consequence that comes with that. And I feel like, my opinion, that's a cop out. That's a coward. Because like, and women who say that is very ignorant because like you said, like I'm use you. You just said you don't know if you were able to live with yourself doing that. You don't know if you're able to go through that. Like a lot of women don't have the mental capacity to go through shit like that.
That experience, like actually really having to go through that, it made me realize what pro-choice really is. See, people think that it's just the basis of being allowed to get an abortion. No. Pro-choice truly stands for a woman being able to assess every choice and understand the pros and cons that come with it, and understanding how that's going to affect her in the long run, and her getting to decide what discomfort she got to live with, which even pushed it further for me of understanding what that means when it comes to life. We all make choices. And whenever you make your choice, you can't have it, you making that choice, and then you still have it your way. So, which is why I gave him a choice. He probably didn't realize what was really going to come with it, but you had a choice, and you chose to walk away. So, as an adult, that's something that we all have to come into in adulthood. You got to understand and assess your pros and cons, and not just, you can't just move off of what your circumstances look like right now, because 5 months from now, it can look like something different. You cannot move off of your emotions. You have to truly look at things and understand that no matter what decision you make, even if you feel like you're making the best choice for yourself, it's going to come from some discomfort, and you might not like the discomfort that you get on the other side of that.
I agree to that, and that's why men should not have sex if you don't want to have children. Not men, I'm sorry, people in general. If you don't want to have kids, don't have sex. You know what I'm saying? Because like you know, you can use all the protection in the world. It's not guaranteed that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, damn, that's crazy. And have you dealt with any? Are you right now, since you know had your child? Like, are you dealing with any like postpartum depression at all? How you feeling mentally?
I actually really last night had to come to the realization that I actually am dealing with postpartum depression, and I think I have been, because so many people see me as the strong person. And don't get me wrong, I am. I have come back from some really tough shit, but it's like it hit me last night that I am not okay. I'm not okay, and it has nothing to do with him. It has everything to do with the fact that I'm not the same person, because of course you're no longer the same woman that you were before anything. I'm not the same woman that I was before he broke my heart. I'm not the same woman that I was before I met him. I'm not the same woman that I was before I got pregnant. You change with every experience that you have, and so you have to relearn that person and grow to love them. My body has changed. I've gained weight, which I feel like I always wanted to kind of gain weight, because before I was like, like this. But like, it still takes some getting used to, because now, whereas at least I never had a perfect stomach after I had kids. Unfortunately, I'm not like the girls. My body didn't go back to no stretch marks and no wrinkles, but even like with how my body was last year, it had at least slimmed down enough to where I was comfortable with my body. Now I'm back in a space where I have extra stomach now, so I have to rework on that, and I have to relearn to love myself. I was pissed that I could not immediately, like I thought that I could, lie to myself like I could run back and start modeling and creating again. So I've been at home pissed because I couldn't immediately come back to what it is that I love. It's a time.
Got it.
So
got it.
I it's still not probably as bad as what some women experience, but it did hit me that I'm there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you know, I had to ask because, you know, most women go through things like that, and what you dealing with, you know, that's pretty tough, especially after you have the baby. He still ain't contacting you, like living his best life, and you over here like, you know what I'm saying, freaking things out, and you know, and most of your family in a different city, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and you know that's fucked up. I'm sorry that you have to go through that.
And you know a lot of people say that, and it's like, sometimes I feel like more people are upset about him not being involved than I am. And I guess because in a way I feel relieved. And that may sound so bad because it shouldn't be like that.
Right.
But it's like, I really did have more peace with him not being involved than I believe that I honestly believe, and this is my right hand to God. I'm not saying this to be a bitch or to be bitter. I promise you this is how I really felt. I honestly felt like had I continued to try to force things to go the way that I really wanted them to go, I absolutely believe that I would have lost my baby.
I see.
I believe that I would have never even gotten the opportunity to know her. And it's what's crazy is you remember earlier I told you that like for at least my first trimester I wasn't even connected to my baby. The day that we broke up, that was when I felt a connection to her. And so for me, that has always been like I feel like that connection didn't happen because my baby's spirit, nor did I really know what I was gonna do or what I really wanted. And so in me choosing to let go, my baby knew that I was choosing her.
Yeah, no, that's good. And I want to ask you this too, like, have you forgave your daughter father?
I feel like I have forgiven him enough. And the reason that I at least know I'm somewhat there, even if I'm not completely there, is I had to work with him while I was pregnant.
Say that part again.
I had to work with him while I was pregnant.
Oh,
Um, we were booked for a shoot together, and I remember I showed up. I was cool. The shoot actually went really great, but
right.
I was definitely tested even that day. And that was because like after the shoot was done, he's standing there, he's like, all right, y'all, I'm finna go. So I throw my fingers up like this. Cause I mean, we done did our work, I done got paid. Cool beans, we can go
Right.
back to regular scheduled programming. Cause I'm at least mature enough to where I'm not gonna bring our personal into our business environment. Like
Right.
it's not that deep. But this man walked around the table, hugged me with two arms, and kissed me on my cheek like he ain't do nothing. Like I wasn't standing there big and pregnant. I wanted to flip the table up on him that day.
Yeah, he act like nothing. Yeah, yeah that
But
man. Yeah, he got some healing to do.
but
Go ahead.
it let me know that I have at least reached a point where I have at least reached some form of healing.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm getting there. Now they don't ever mean that I'm finna like not speak my truth because you did what you did, and I'm a big person on if you don't want people to know what you did, don't do it.
Yeah, and I'm surprised you didn't expose him. Cause most women would be airing him out, making 100 posts like he a deadbeat. You know.
I wanted to.
Why didn't you? You wouldn't be wrong if you did.
So this is one of those things that I was saying earlier. Like you had, like he was a part of a lot of tests and growth for me. So
Okay.
something that I had become aware of, because I started my healing and my spiritual journey like right before, like a couple of months before
Yeah.
that instance of us starting to date. So that was something I absolutely would have done in the past. But the type of person that I am now, when everything was happening, I realized that I was being tested. How
Oh,
are you
okay.
going to react to this? I could have got on, I could have took it to the internet, I could have done what the other young lady tried to do. I could have went and tried to tell his home. Why? I had to ask myself, like, is it really worth it? And then I remember like feeling in my spirit and also being told, God and your ancestors are telling you not to crash out.
Yeah.
Let it be what it's gonna be. Let him say whatever it is that he gonna say. Don't give nobody your truth unless they truly want to know it. The
Right.
people that's gonna believe him, let them.
Yeah.
But don't run out trying to expose him and give your truth from a hurt place. If you're gonna talk about it, which was crazy, when you reached out to me and was like, hey, I want to do the interview, whatever the case is, that was my sign then, like, this is where you talk about it and you're in a better place now to where it's not going to
Right.
be from emotion. It's not going to be about bashing him. It's going to be about you. It's going to be about your growth, what you have learned from the
Perfect
experience
timing.
and things like that. So it's like with experience comes wisdom.
Yeah, no, for real. And yeah, I'm still working on that. Sometimes like I gotta get my point across. Sometimes, my mom be on me about that. She was like, sometimes you gotta leave things where it's at.
Yeah, and
You know what
that
I'm
was
saying?
hard for me,
Yes.
especially.
Especially be like, I'm just like you, I'm very emotional. I wear my heart on the
Yeah.
sleeve, you know what I'm saying?
And one thing that I do know is like it was very hard, especially like during that time where there were things like being said about me. Like one of the things was that somehow I am the reason as to why he's not involved with the other daughter that he has, like the baby that he had while we were together. And
Wait, he put that blame on you? That shit crazy. Why? Go ahead.
somehow I have something to do with it. And that was just a tip of the iceberg of the things that were said. And so
Okay.
what happened, this is something else I literally just posted about. What ended up happening was everything that was being said about me. I sat for 3 days. 3 is a very prevalent number in my life. I sat for 3 days turning this situation, turning everything that had been said about me, that I knew of over in my head. And I remember, like, I'm very intuitive. So I'm starting to remember dates and stuff like from journal entries that I wrote. And, something was just like, didn't you write this down? So I started going to get my journals. And I'm realizing I have documented everything that has happened from the time I started my spiritual journey all the way up until now. And I remember hearing clear as day, I'm thinking like you. I'm being shown all this so I could come. I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Here go your receipts. Not only that, I mean, of course, I have text messages, I have voice messages, things like that. How strong are you as a person when you have everything to refute what's being said with you, but you listen to the Spirit of God and you listen to your ancestors and your higher self when they tell you, you better not go trying to defend yourself to the same people that's talking about you.
Yeah, sometimes, truth gonna reveal everything.
Yeah.
Time, no, I'm sorry. Time revealed everything.
Yeah.
You know
And
what
so
I'm
it
saying?
was
Yeah.
it was very hard though, because I'm definitely one of them people. I don't like for my character to be destroyed.
I
I
feel
don't
on
like
that
you
part.
sitting up and trying to make it seem like, oh, she pulled up on me. Tell them why I did it.
Don't play victim.
Make sure you tell them why. But at the same time, like I said, it was hard humbling myself in
Yeah.
that way and listening to what I was told. But I shut up and I did it.
Yeah. And these are my 2 last questions. My first question I want to say is that what's your suggestion to a lady who's going through something similar like you, who's alone being pregnant, or the father want her to get an abortion? What's your message to her?
Stop making it about him. Make it about you. You have to understand why it is that God, your ancestors, your spirit team have you in that situation. My
Right.
baby's not here because I wanted to spite him. My baby's not here because I just wanted to be one of those women that kept the baby no. My baby is here because I was already spiritually shown what she's here for. I had to just be willing enough to be the vessel to get her here so that she could fulfill her purpose.
Right.
I also had to realize everything that came with me being with that man for the past 2.5 years, it was for me to become the person that I am now.
Right.
It hurt. It sucked. I didn't like, coming to the realization that I was emotionally unregulated, that I did think more off of my emotions, that I was led by my emotions, that I really was a person I don't usually think before I. It's very hard coming to the realization that even if I was not the root cause of the chaos, I contributed in hurting myself because of these
Right.
things. So you're gonna have to shift your focus from everyone else and lock in on, why am I going through this? What is this meant to show me and to teach me? And it's not hard. That's not easy.
Right.
But it's like, it's something that you're gonna have to do, especially if you're on that journey and you in your mindset have decided, like, I wanna be the best version of myself. You're gonna get attacked. You're gonna have people
Right.
trying to lie on you. You're gonna have people trying to change your story. Fuck them people.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, who are they to your spirit team and to God? And whatever they feel like they winning at on this physical side, I promise you they gonna get their head rocked on that spiritual
Yeah.
side.
And also, so I want to add on, like, good things don't happen to those who don't take care of their kids. A lot of people forget about that. Like,
Yeah.
you can't think. I don't know, man. Some men out here be tripping. I can't really fathom how you can make a child, and you got a whole child out here who's alone. And most people, it's a recycle. It was done to him or maybe, you know what I'm
Something that I
saying?
can say, like, I had a moment where I had to realize that I was possibly going to end up projecting onto her, because there was one day, like, I was just looking at her because she does look like him. Like, she does look like him. I don't like admitting it, but
Yeah.
she do got some of his features. That's also what keeps me from hating him, though. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But I was looking at her, and one of my wounds of not being chosen, it came up when I was looking at her, and I was like, I hope that, I'm not gonna cry. I hope that she never goes through that feeling of, why wasn't I chosen? But then I had to immediately lock in to that other side of me that's like, don't even think that. because she
Right.
actually has more love to go around that I probably realized. There are people that already love her just because she came from me.
Right.
And it's like I had to don't even allow that to start cycling through your mind because that will manifest for her. And I
Right.
don't want that. So I went through that emotion too.
So, what you said, you looking at her, she looks like, her father, and that's keeping you not from hating him, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
okay, so
like,
like one of the things that she does when she when she sleep, he used to do, like he has this weird way of like when he wake up in the morning, he'll like stretch and he do all these little crazy ass movements and he be making all these weird sounds and she does that. And so that brings out some of the stuff that she does brings out those very small, minute um, memories that are able to kind of balance out those negative emotions. She also do this thing like so I'm a weirdo. I will literally be the first to wake up, and so I'm looking over at him while he's still sleeping. He'll end up waking up, and so he wake up and look at me. He'll close his eyes and be like,
yeah.
to
And
see
she
if
do
I'm
the
still
same
looking.
thing.
She did that one day, and it literally like I couldn't do nothing but laugh. I was
That's
like,
good.
you literally are just like that man, and it's like.
Yeah.
I am the type of person, even for the people that do, because there are some people that already have put two and two together, and they do know what that's a lot more of the stuff that happened,
Right.
and they can tell that I don't want to hate him.
It's
They
good.
can see like I don't tell people like not to work with him. Now I am gonna say you be careful, but
Yeah.
I'm not running out trying to get people to not work with you, regardless of how I feel.
Yeah.
I I want him to do it. I don't necessarily feel that, but I know that I want to reach that point where it's like I still wish the best for you. I'm
Yeah,
not there
you
yet.
should.
Right now, I'm still in.
Yeah,
I
and
don't got to send you no love.
it's a process,
Yeah.
And I was talking to my mom the other day, and I'm going through my own forgiving journey. I ain't gonna lie, I really dislike my sister, my older sister. I really dislike her just because how she was going about certain things when my dad died, and that's a topic for a different day. But
Yeah.
I'm bringing that up to say is that I'm on a journey to forgive her, and I'm getting there, but I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
But I had to, look at myself and also look at why she chose to do what she did. You know what I'm saying? And not to get off topic, but like why I dislike my sister just because of I didn't feel included when my dad passed away. You know what I'm saying? And other little shit she was doing, I wasn't really then like, and what really rubbed me the wrong way is that I'm real big on integrity.
Right.
So when a person lack integrity, like that shit be blowing me. But the point I'm saying is that like it's a process. All I'm basically saying is that long as you keep focusing on God, which I've been doing, because I'm fasting right now.
Yeah.
I'm on a fifth day of fasting. I ain't even eating nothing. So they've been giving me the clarity of like I gotta keep focusing on God to forgive her.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take some time. You know what I'm saying? And what I want to ask you is, this is my last question. If you could sit face to face with your child's father today, what would you say to him?
You disappointed me. Who are you asking the questions that's pulling on my emotions, Lord? Like, you disappointed me
Yeah.
because every high value thing that I thought about him,
Right.
like you repeatedly showed me that you was not that, all while trying to prove to me that I wasn't who I said that I was when you didn't even know me. You didn't even take the
Right.
time to get to know me.
Right.
If somebody came and asked him about stuff that's happened in my past, he wouldn't be able to tell you nothing because I never even felt safe enough to talk to you about my past.
Right.
But if somebody came to me with a certain situation, based off of what they say, I would know that they're not lying. Because I've seen certain sides of you that the world hasn't. You disappointed me. Don't disappoint the next woman. And that's hard for me because I have struggled with being in that space of what if all of what I did pour into him, the love that he'll never tell people that I gave,
Right.
what if he takes that and pours that into someone else? But at the same time, I've also come to realize that it's probably going to be my purpose in a lot of men's life is to give them that love for them to be pushed towards the person that they're supposed to be if it's all still going to be contingent upon if they do the work.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of disappointment there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you didn't live up to You didn't live up to nothing that I thought about you. Nothing.
Yeah.
Period.
And I think that's where we sometimes go wrong at. We put the expectations on people that we be disappointed.
Yeah.
My cousin
and
told me that.
I
Yeah.
definitely, I feel like I had a lot of I had an expectation of who he was as a father. Got here, found out that wasn't the case. I had an expectation of who I felt like he was as a man.
Yeah.
Every benefit of the doubt that I tried to give, he failed at. Even when it came down to me being pregnant, I'm hoping and praying, even though I'm knowing you finna do the same thing. I'm hoping and praying that you're gonna stick to your word and you don't. I remember when I told him the situation where I told you that I was gonna set up a mediation or whatever, and that just didn't end up happening because I realized he didn't have the right motives for it. I told him, I said, you do not have the right motives for wanting to have a conversation with these people. You want to do what you feel like I am doing to you. You don't even know that to be the case.
Yeah.
You don't know that to be the case, but that's what you think.
All right.
How do I warn you about yourself and you still, they come and dangle the carrot in your face and you fall for the trap?
Yeah. Yeah, he's just, like I said, things you've been sharing with me, he's just very unhealed. He got the inner child that he got to heal.
And it's like, I hate that for him.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I do like, and this is why I say that people can tell that I don't want to feel the way that I feel about him, because the man that I can see in him, if he would be willing to do the work, it is so different from what I have experienced. So different.
Yeah. Well, that's all the questions I have. I'm very proud of you that you still standing, you still, doing shit that you enjoy doing. You know what I'm saying? Most people be stuck. People be most people be in a victim mentality. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's hard for me to be in a victim mentality, literally, because, like, I guess I have the mindset to kind of look at where I played a role or whatever the case is, where I didn't, where I didn't pay attention to the red flags, or where I still stayed, even when being stayed after you told that certain stuff was done to you because you think that person thought that you was weak is crazy. And like I said, I'm in a space now where I can see where it is that I contributed to my own pain.
Right.
I contributed to, even though he was the root cause of a lot of stuff, I can see where I still contributed with my own emotions and my own reactions. And so it's like, it's hard for me to be in a victim mindset. I don't even see myself as a victim. So that's why I said I feel like other people be more mad about the situation than I do. And it's just like, no, because if I had never went back, we wouldn't be here.
Right. and the situation you went through made you the person that you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's all the questions I have, man. That's it, man. Keep doing what you doing. So we gotta do this again.
Yes.
Definitely.
Very soon.
All
Yeah.
right, for sure.
We got to choose some different topics and really, like, sit here and just chop it up for real.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We got to talk about that sister thing, too.
Oh yeah, I'm an open book. You can interview me, shit.
Hey.
Yeah.
Catch us on the next flick.